Hello students, welcome to my next video. Today we will learn levels of measurement. I Dr. Rohan Devale welcome you all. The subject is Business Research Method online lecture series. Today we will learn nominal, ordinal, interval and ratio. These are various levels of measurement. This is lecture number 20. Don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon for further notifications. Learning questions for today's sessions are: what are the various levels of measurement in research? And what are various examples of levels of measurement? We will start with the concept of measurement. Measurement is the assignment of a number to a characteristics of an object or an event, which can be compared with the other objects or other events. Measurement is the process of observing and recording the observations that are collected as a part of a research effort. Now we will see the definition of measurement. According to Keringler, measurement is the assignment of numericals to objects or events according to the rules. Suppose we want to measure weight of a student. Then what are various options for measurement of the weight? First, we can say that the student is heavy in weight, normal in weight, or light in weight. In other words, we will say that the student is heavier than particular student, that is X student. So student is heavier than X, or the student is lighter than student Y. Another way of describing a weight or measuring a weight is the student is of suppose 60 kg, or in pounds it is the student is 154 pound. These are some examples how you can measure the weight. Similarly, in research, there are so many attributes and characteristics we have to measure. Now, before starting with the actual levels of measurement, we will understand what are the various problems in measurement in management research. So, measurement should be precise and unambiguous in an ideal research study, but still there are some problems. First problem is respondent. At times, the respondent may be reluctant to express strong negative feelings, or it is just possible that he or she may have very little knowledge but may not admit his ignorance. So this is the problem of respondent. Another problem is of situation. Situational factors may also come in way of correct measurement. Any condition which places a strain on interviews can have serious effects on the interviewer-respondent rapport. Third problem is measurer. The interviewer can distort responses by rewarding and reordering questions. His behavior, style, and looks may encourage or discourage certain replies from the respondents. Careless mechanical processing may distort or findings. The next problem is of instrument. Error may arise because of the defective measuring instrument. The use of complex words beyond the comprehension of the respondents, ambiguous meanings, poor printing, inadequate space for replies, response choice omissions, etc. are few things that make measuring instrument defective and may result in measurement errors. Another type of instrument deficiency is the poor sampling of the universe of the items or concern. Researcher must know that correct measurement depends on the successful meeting of all the problems listed above, that is respondent, situations, measurer and instrument. Now we will start with our session's main part, that is levels of measurement. The, the term levels of measurement with nominal, ordinal, interval and ratio scale is coined by the Harvard psychologist S. S. Stevens in early 1940s. He is a psychologist. Used to measure hierarchical scales. So the levels of measurement starts with nominal, ordinal, interval and ratio scales. It is a classification that describes the nature of information within the numbers assigned of the variables. The classification with the four levels of scales of measurement, that is nominal, ordinal, interval and ratio. Now we will start with the description of each and every level. We will first of all start with nominal scale. The nominal type scale differentiates between the items or subjects based on their names or categories and other qualitative classifications they belongs to. Thus, dichotomous data involves the construction of classifications as well as classification of the items. From a statistical point of view, it is the lowest measurement level. This is about nominal scale of level. We will continue with the nominal level. Nominal scale is assigned to items that is divided into various categories without having any order or structure. Purely used for counting purposes only, here the numbers or symbols are assigned to the options. We will take one example. Suppose there is a survey of 100 respondents and question is we want to find out what is the favorite color of the 100 respondents. So the question is what is your favorite color? Suppose there are 100 respondents and we will ask this question to each and every respondent. The options researcher has given that A. Red, B. Blue, C. Orange, D. Green and E. Yellow. Suppose these five options are given to the respondents. Now we will assign red as 1, blue as 2, orange as 3, green as 4 and yellow as 5. These are the codes assigned. Now after the data collection we found that the response of 100 respondents is as follows. Red is a favorite color of 25 respondents, blue is a favorite color of 20 respondents, orange of 35 respondents, green 5 respondents and yellow color is the favorite of 15 respondents. What we can do further? In the nominal scale, we can plot a graph like this. This is a bar graph. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are assigned as numbers like red, blue, orange, green and yellow from 1 to 5. And red is 1, so red is having 25 respondents, blue is 2, 20 respondents and highest is orange, that is 3, 35 respondents, code is 3. For yellow, code is 4 and 5 respondents, the lowest respondents. And for yellow, for green code is 4 and respondents are only 5, and for yellow the code is 5 and respondents are 15. So this much we can do. Now we cannot do mean, mode, median for this particular type of graph because the this is the nominal data and we will use only for the purpose of counting. Now suppose in the same example, suppose for the 100 respondents and the same question like what is your favorite color? Blue, red, orange, green and yellow. The previous code was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the response was like blue 20, red 25, orange 35, yellow green and yellow 15 and green is 5. Now here the sequence that was earlier, the sequence was red, blue, orange and green, yellow. Now we have changed the sequence of the options. Instead of red and blue, we have alternate. We changed red, blue as blue, red, orange is as it is, and green, yellow. It was the previous problem, and we have changed that to yellow, green. But whether we are going to change the response, that doesn't make any differences. The response of the students or the respondents will remain same. So in the previous example also, red was having 25 respondents, orange was 35 respondents and green was having 5 respondents. Again we can plot the graph of the new response is like this and this was the old response. Now only because of we are shifting the options from the position 1 to 2 and 4 to 5 we are interchanging. Here the graph will interchange, but there is no difference in the data. So this is about nominal scale. How we can describe it as colors do not have any assigned order. We can code the numbers like 1 to 5 or 5 to 1 or any mix. Here the numbers are assigned to color just for the purpose of identification of that particular color. From ordering from ascending order or descending order does not mean that the colors are having that order. That means red is at number 1 or yellow is at number 5. So we are not giving any rank to the colors. It is just a category. The numbers gives us the identity or identification of the category assigned. The only mathematical operations we can perform with the nominal data is count. So we can only count. We can take another example. Another example from the research activities, like the question will be there and options will be yes and no scale. This is also nominal data. So if we change the order like yes and no or no or yes, then it does not make any difference. Like, do you like this product? And the options are yes and no. And do you like this product? And if the options given are no or yes, still the response will remain unchanged. So this is about nominal data. Moving on to the ordinal data. Ordinal data level. Ordinal scales variables have the property of identifier and magnitude. The number represents a quality being measured, that is identity, and can tell us whether a case has more of the quality measured or less of the quality measured than the another case, that is magnitude. The distance between scale points is not equal. Ranked preferences are presented as an example of ordinal scales counted in everyday life. This was the description of ordinal level. Now we will see some examples. So example number 1, swimmers at the end of the swimming competition or race are at the position of 1, 2 and 3. This was the result declared after their competition was over. Not these are the ranks, and the time distance between 1 and 2 may well not be same as between 2 and 3. So suppose there are 3 swimmers. First swimmer completes the race with 9.2 seconds. Second swimmer completes the race with 9.3 seconds, and suppose third swimmer, that swimmer is at third position, completes the race at 9.8 seconds. So the difference between first two is only 1 second, and difference between second and third position is 5 seconds. Still we will give the rank as 1, 2 and 3. That does not mean that there is equal distance between 1 and 2 and 3. So this is about rank 1, 2 and 3. So distance between the points is not the same, but the order is present. When response have an order but the distance between response is not necessarily the same, the items are regarded or put into ordinal scale. Therefore, an ordinal scale lets researcher interprets gross order and not the relative positional distance. We will take another example. Suppose you are filling option forms and there are option for suppose MBA admissions. Then there will be preferences, like list of colleges will be there and students have to give some preferences like number 1 institute, number 2 institute, and number 3 institute, so on. This is a relative rank. Continue with the ordinal scale. We will take another example. Rank the following. Rank 1 is highest and rank 4 is lowest. What is the question? What you utilize most in your telecom services? And options are voice calls, internet, SMS, and value added services. VAS means value added services. Now suppose I am using my telecom service providers like suppose Idea, Airtel, Vodafone, Jio, etc. Then what I utilize most, whether I utilize voice calls, then I will give number 1 to voice call. Then if I am using SMS at number 2, then I will give 2 rank to SMS and so on. So this respondents has to give. Now suppose for the same question, what you utilize most in your telecom services? We will take response 1 as, like suppose my response, I utilize voice calls at number 1 position, internet at 2 position, value added services at rank 3, and SMS at rank 4. These are my rank. So this is response 1. Similarly, I collect 200 responses from various respondents, and for voice call the responses are like 2, 1, 1, dash, 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 up to 3. So there will be 200 responses. And for internet also, SMS and value added services also, 200 respondents will give their ranks like 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what I will do for the same question, now I will find out mean. So mean for voice call was found to be 2.3. For internet mean 1.6, SMS 2.7, and value added services 3.4. Now as 1 was indicating highest utilization, so my final ranks will be internet with the lowest mean, that is 1.6 mean, that is having the first rank, that is highest utilization, and value added services with the mean of 3.4. This mean was calculated in the response of 200 respondents. So value added services got the mean of 3.4 and got rank of 4, that means lowest utilization. So from this study or research, I can predict that 200 respondents, their internet usage is highest and their value added usage is lowest. And internet usage is followed by voice calls, and voice calls are followed by SMS. So this is the ordinal scale where the ranks are given. Now we will move towards next level, that is interval level. The interval type allows for the degree of difference between the items but not ratio between them. In earlier ordinal ratio, we have seen that the difference is not exactly same. We have taken the example of swimmer. The distance between the first and second swimmer was 1 second, and distance between second and third swimmer was 5 seconds. So the difference was not exactly same, but in the interval level, the difference here is exactly same. We will take example, student percentage in examination, that will range from 0% to 100%. Suppose a student is at 75% and another student is got 74%, then now difference between 75 to 74% is 1%. Now in another class, suppose one student got 45% and another student got 46%, then relative difference, we will forget the sign here. Now relative difference here or mod of the difference is 1%. So here there is exactly same difference between the two entities. Another example of interval ratio is like this. A normal survey rating scale is an interval scale. For instance, when asked a rate of satisfaction with a training on a 5-point scale from strongly agree, agree, neutral, disagree, and strongly disagree, an interval scale is being used. It is an interval scale because it is assumed to have equal distances between each of the scale elements. That is, magnitude between strongly agree and agree is assumed to be same as that is between strongly disagree and disagree. This means that we can interpret differences in the distance along with the scale. We contrast this to ordinal scale where we can only talk about the difference in order and not differences in the degree of order, that is difference distance between the responses. We will take one example here. Suppose the question is like, or the statement is like, I like research methodology, and the options are strongly agree, agree, neutral, disagree, and strongly disagree. Now there are respondents and you have to tick in front of your preferences. Now suppose one response is like this. For the statement I like research methodology, and there are some options, and the student will say strongly agree. So the student like me is strongly agree with the statement I like research methodology. Now similarly, suppose survey is conducted with 100 respondents or 100 responses are collected. Same statement I like research methodology, and the response is like this. Out of 24, out of 100 responses, 24 students says that they are strongly agree with the statement. 55 students or responses agree with the statement. 12 students are neutral about this statement. 3 students disagree with the statement, and 1 student strongly disagree with the statement that I like research methodology. So this was the response collected from the survey. Now we can plot a graph like this. For 100 responses, this can be the graph from the response we got. So what was our scale? Our scale was strongly agree, agree, neutral, disagree, and strongly disagree. So from the graph, we can easily say that 25 students are saying they are strongly agree with the research methodology, they like research methodology, and so on. So this is the graph. Now, like we have changed between uh, colors, blue and green was interchange, or red and blue was interchange. We cannot do such type of interchanging here because the scale should be kept like this: strongly agree, agree, neutral, disagree, and strongly disagree. Now with the help of this graph, we can do some statistical analysis. We can find out some mean, median, standard deviation, kurtosis, skewness, and so on. So from this data using Excel that we will learn in the last chapter or later videos. So from such type of data, we can easily find mean, standard deviation, mode, kurtosis, and skewness. For this data, mean was found to be 1.98, standard deviation 0.75, mode, that is highest frequency, that is 2, that is agree, and kurtosis is 2.52, and skewness we found as 1.05. So by using interval level, we can do some statistical analysis and so on. So this is about interval level. Now we are moving towards the last level, that is a ratio. A ratio is the top level of measurement. The factor which clearly defines a ratio scale is that it has a true 0 point. The simplest example of a ratio scale measurement is the measurement of length or money. Having zero length or zero money means there is no length and no money. But zero temperature is not an absolute zero, it is having some effect. Ratio scales of measurement have all the properties of the abstract number system. So we will take example of a ratio. Suppose the question is like this: what is your height? And the answer, in the answer you have to mention your height. Suppose height is 72.6 kg. So what is your height? The answer will be 72.6 kg. Suppose the question is like this: how far is your home from railway station? And you have to mention your distance in kilometer. So the answer will be 4.2 kilometers. So this was about ratio scale, where you are getting the exact answers for the questions in the quantity. Now we will compare all levels of measurement. So nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio, and we will find out measure property, mathematical operations, advanced operations, and central tendency. So we will start with nominal level. For nominal level, major property is classification and membership. Mathematical operators are equal to or not equal to, and advanced operations are like grouping. Here you can use central tendency as mode. Next level, that is ordinal level. Major property is comparison level. Mathematical operations are greater than or equal to because we are just comparing and ranking. Advanced operations are sorting. You can use median. Interval level, major property is difference or affinity. Mathematical operations are plus, minus. Advanced operations like yardstick. Here you can find out mean, median, mode, standard deviation, kurtosis, and so on. Last, that is ratio level. Major property is magnitude, amount. Mathematical operations are multiplication and division. Advanced operations are ratios. And central tendency is geometric mean and coefficient of variations. Comparison between levels of measurement. Now, nominal data indicates the difference. Ordinal data indicates the difference as well as the directions. Interval interval ratio indicates difference, yes. Indicate difference and directions, yes. And it also indicates amount of differences, yes. And ratio level does it all. Ratio level indicates the difference. It also indicates difference with direction. It indicates amount of difference, and absolute zero is also present. So that's why, as far as statistics is concerned, nominal level is the lowest and ratio level is the said to be highest. So we will summary levels of measurement like this. Nominal data, here attributes are only named. Ordinal data, attributes are ordered or ranked. Interval data, here distance between the options is meaningful, and ratio level, absolute zero. So what are our learning outcomes? Today we have learned the various levels of measurement in research. We have also seen examples of levels of measurement. What is next? In my next video, we will understand various scaling techniques like Likert scale, semantic differential scale, constant sum scale, graphical scale, ranking scale, paired comparison, and force ranking. So don't miss my next video. Till then, keep thinking, keep learning. Keep watching my channel. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, and turn on the bell icon for further notification. All the best for your studies. These are some references I have used for preparing this video. Thank you.